Alright, here we are again with the Mage. So, this time we're going to go over heavy wands with the Mage. So, let's start off with a brief little overview here. The Mage is the weakest class in the game defensively, low HP, low defense, very, very squishy. However, it makes up for that with its magical prowess, has high magical might, and lots of MP. And its deafness isn't that bad either. So, alright, let's just make this clear here. There are 3 weapons. With wand last time, now we're going to do the heavy wands here. The heavy wand is the caster DPS weapon. This is also a weapon unique to Teresa and Lazaril. There's not going to be any other characters that can use it, so it's just for them, and it's pretty dang good. So let's see what we get here. We're going to start with, well, we'll just do it real quick. You're going to get 3 spells and 1 buff. So let's start off with these spells. Frizz. Frizz is your most powerful spell that you're going to get with in the proficiency tree. The thing about Frizz is that it's a bit wonky. It has a weird trajectory, and you know, you're really going to want to be locking on to the monsters that you can. Keep in mind you can't lock on to the smaller monsters, only the big ones. So that way you can get some control, because the trajectory on it is just, it's really frustrating, but the damage is there if it hits. Next up, we're going to get Whoosh. This is your tornado. Does low damage, but it's persisting damage. It's going to stay on the screen, so you can still, do some other stuff. Maybe whap him upside the head with your stick, or suck the magical energy out of them. Cast another tornado. Your choice. Big AoE though. It's gonna cover the whole screen pretty much, right in front of you. Just a big wall of wind. All right, and finally we're gonna get Sizz. Now Sizz is, how should I put it? Its hitbox is really wonky. It can miss. It's a narrow shockwave. It does hit things in the air, so some of the flying enemies, even though it's going to, well, I'll show you a bit later, it does hit things in the air. It's probably the quickest animation of the bunch, definitely. So, Sizz is the fastest, Whoosh is the weakest, Frizz is the slowest, but hits the hardest. Now, what's this all about, this Quickfire caster? Now, this is absolutely a bonkers move. What it does is it allows you to cast your spells in quick succession. So instead of charging them up, going through the animation, you're just going to be throwing them out, 10 in a row, easy peasy. Now at first it doesn't sound all that great, because you can simply just throw out a level 1 spell, but once you start leveling up and you get into the higher tiers of spells, you're going to see that it's quite good. Another thing to point out is that you are going to get some MP with this weapon. Unlike, you're not going to get as much as you will with the wands, but you're going to get more than you would with, let's say, the staff, something like that. Alright, so let's get in to the class itself, and then we'll start styling here. Alright, so 3 sections. This section here, Mage skills, is only going to work when you're on your Mage, and as you can see, we're getting a lot of MP, some Wisdom for magic damage, and some Deafness. Again, magic can crit. You're going to get just your standard passive abilities here, but the Mage is going to get a couple things to make it stand out. First being Power Saver, 5% and 10%, and finally Grace Under Fire. This can be good, but again, it's going to require a type of play. This can be useful in game if you're just gonna go it alone. Just lone wolf it and keep your MP low. But still, it's really risky because you know, the mage is gonna get one shot. It just doesn't have the defense or the HP to back that up. But you know, a specific build and play style can make use of it. All right. These down here, you want to get them for every job. Again, the cousins, they have much lower natural stat growth than the other characters, so you're going to need to fill all these out on each of the classes to make sure that they're on par with the rest of the cast. Obviously, you're going to want to get the MP as soon as possible because you're going to need it. And so lots of MP on this class, lots of MP. Alright, let's talk about spells and abilities. We are going to use the Great Staff, the Great Wand on this one. So we're going to get Arcane Echo. This will cast double spells. So it's, as you can see, quite powerful once we start putting things together. Again, let's go over these final two here. You're going to get Ring of Ruin. This is going to put a pool on the ground. You stand in the circle, you get crits. Finally, we're going to get Kazap. This is going to lower defense for your team. You're going to do more damage, so it's pretty good all around. Alright, so first things first, let's go and take a look at the wrong spell. Alright, so this is what the Great Wand's going to get just with its proficiency tree. But first, let's show you the moves. It's pretty simple here. You have, this is your normal attacks. You're just going to toss out some magical energy. You can do this infinitely as long as you're pressing the button here. Damage isn't really that great. It's kind of wonky at times, especially when there's a pack of enemies. You may see it dart off to the side, or you know, is what it is. Our charge attack is an area of effect, and it's a magic steal, so you can get some MP back. It's going to be 4 MP. If I remember correctly, it should be 4 MP per hit. Now it's 6 there, so 6 MP, pretty good. There you go. You can do this in the air, and you have an aerial. Just throw out a fan of magical orbs. You can't do this twice unless you do this, and you can follow up with another one, and that's it. So pretty basic, straightforward moveset. The Mage and the Great Wand is all about magic craziness. So first things first, let's do the Frizz. Just does have a bit of homing on it. So let's stand here. See how it curved in there. So that's that. Let's show you the puny little Tornado. Look at that Tornado there. So it does persist. You can do other things. Do some magic. Whatever you want to do. And let's show you Sizz. So even though you're getting this little burn wave across the ground, it will hit flying enemies. Alright, so this is the level 1 spell for each of them. And let's show you the tier 2 for the Frizz. So now you're getting some AoE explosions. Okay, that's 1, 2, so now let's look at 3, and it's gonna just be massively upgraded. Boom. So it does hit twice. Again, it's just really wonky. Let's say I want to hit these slimes in front of me. Gonna totally whiff. So you really want to be locking on to the larger monsters when you can. And this will be the spell that you're going to want to use. See? I don't want to wake him up just yet. So really, if you're going to use Frizz, you're really just going to be using it for the tier 3 spell, and even then it's really wonky, so I would just forego it, to be honest. Alright, now let's take a look at Whoosh again. You've seen the level 1. Let's go level 2. So you're throwing out 2 of them. Pretty crazy, so it's a massive difference here. And now let's look at tier 3. Boom, look at that. Crazy. So they do persist. It's quite nice. Again, low damage. Now let's take a look at the Sis once more. So that's ground wave. Number 2. It's gonna kind of swerve a bit. Same deal. It's gonna swerve. Has a very long reach, and it's actually pretty quick. Doesn't do as much damage as Frizz, but it's still pretty close. And number 3, you're gonna get that stuff. All right. So now let's take a look at Quickfire Caster. So as an example, I'm just gonna throw out some. Let's see. Let's do Frizz. Frizz. Just mashing here, mashing. All right. Now let's do Quickfire Caster. As you can see, it's good for about 10 or so, 9, 10, 11, somewhere around there. Should be around 10. It's still a little faster, but that's not where things really shine. It's when you increase it to max. So with each tier, you're going to be quick firing that tier of spell. So let's wait till these wear off. All right. So let's look how long it takes to charge up here. That one. There we are. So now let's do the Quickfire level 3. Now look at that. So it's really, once it's max, it gets crazy. Very crazy. Again, you're going to need the MP for it. So you're going to need as much MP as you possibly can have. So this will be a better build. Higher levels, obviously, once you start getting all the nice gear and the stat increases and all that good stuff. So that is the Great Wands all by itself. Has nothing to do with the Mage. So now let's see what the Mage is going to do for us. So we're going to get Arcane Echo, and what this does, this is going to double cast our spells. So let's show that right now. Look at this. Double naders. Double tornadoes. Look at that. Let's do that again. Look at that. So as you can see, that little aura there, that is the aura. Alright. So you're going to want to keep that on your bar. Again, we have access to Kasap. You can put this on and just rock one spell. I would recommend just doing Zap. Especially once you get it to tier 3. It's quick. It has big AoE. It's not going to whiff. It's not going to miss things. The only issue is you may or may not want to use this against some of the crazy robots end game, because once you hit them with lightning, they will get staggered, but after that they're going to wake up and just go into crazy mode and just start throwing out massive damage. And especially for a mage, you're probably going to get one shot, maybe two shot. So outside of that, you would switch it out for Sizz. The thing about Sizz is that it has good damage, more so than the Tornadors, but it doesn't hit as hard as Frizz, but it's pretty competitive, and it's just really easy to use. Again, I mean, it's possible to miss in these, you know, in these little spots here. It's not going to hit, so that's why I would recommend Zap. Again, Zap is going to be weaker than Frizz. It's going to be similar to Sizz. It's going to be more powerful than Whoosh. So I would forego. I mean, you could do Ring of Ruin, Arcane Echo, and Quickfire Caster. You can drop all these at once, but you're only going to have one spell. If you have another source of defense down, this would be ideal. But if not, if you're the only one with Kasap, you're going to want to replace it. Ring of Ruin. Because you can get by without Ring of Ruin. It's nice to have, but you know, Kasap's going to be helping everyone, and so we'll just do this for now. So let's stack all these together and show you how crazy this class gets. So first things first, we're going to want to do Ring of Ruin, and then we're going to want to pop Arcane Echo and Quickfire Caster last, because that is the shortest in duration. Alright. And there you are. That's what kills everything right there. So let's go and demonstrate this on our doggy friend here. Yeah, let's just leave all these here. So again, this is how you would use it. As you can see, it's kind of wonky, even the normal. Just going all over the place. You can also hold this down if you need to, but generally it's pretty smart about where it's going to put it. So, all right. Let's go and pick a fight with our doggy. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted to do. Here. Same deal. Let's do it again. I'm just gonna forego the Ring of Ruin. Don't really need it. And that is the Mage. Very weak, very powerful, but as you can see, we just got pancaked.
Why?
That's what I asking.
Goddess speed.
All right. So, one of the things that you can do, obviously, I am going full DPS here. We are going to get the second, well, technically it's the last orb that you can purchase, but this is the Mage one. Obviously, we're going to want that. We're going to get that extra magical might. But generally, you would just use this on your warriors or on a class that you don't want to get that extra bit of damage. So that is why we got two-shot there, just pancaked. So I'm going with this one. This is the best wand that you can purchase. We're going to get some extra MP and magical might. That is quite nice. Sorcerer's Ring. This is a no-brainer here. It's going to give us that MP that we need so that we can spam our spells. Also, we're getting quite a lot of magical might there, and we're going to get some passive MP, one extra. The deal here is spell damage 15%, this is what we want, this is what we need. We're going to get a little bit of extra MP and magical might. And finally, I went for the monocle. That way I could have that free slot, so I won't need to rely on Ring of Ruin so much. So, spell rate and more magical might. Again, we are super weak here, especially without our Metal King Orb. We're losing 15 defense, but we're going to get magical might. So, some of the options here are obviously the same as they were on the wands. Let's see, where are we? There we are. The Earthworm's Eye. This is going to give us 60 HP, and this is just massive on our puny little mage here. This would be an option. It's really up to you, that last slot. If you need the MP, you can always throw on a prayer ring. You know, it's really, I mean, even something like this, if you're going to be dying a lot. But then again, when you're in dungeons, you're only going to have 4 Yggdrasil leaves, so I don't know, maybe. But this could be nice. You just go in there, get pancaked, explode. Anything with HP. These are only 15. The Loinger is going to be 30. You could Scholar Specs also an option when you're going to have Kabuff up. You're going to get that extra defense, and you're going to get a little bit of MP and magical might. It's really up to you. You could even do a Venus tier. You should have just hundreds of these suckers. From killing all the Rose Guardians. They drop like candy, and this is 30 magical might, but you're gonna have better blocks, so you're gonna need to pay attention. 360 block, and you're gonna take reduced damage, so it's up to you. But this is the mage. You drop your buffs and you drop the pain, just like that. Just annihilate everything. It's obviously going to be better the higher level you are and the higher proficiency, so that you can unlock the later versions of the Quickfire caster. So to finish it off, it's just these two. You're going to want to keep these two. Use the spell of your choice. This slot here would be your wild card. If you have someone like, let's say, we'll just do Desdemona here. Scrap Metal. This is going to give you a defense debuff. Maribel, she's going to have Kasap. So I mean, if you want to bring it, but this has to do with party comp and other things like that. Or again, you could just go double spells. If you like whoosh, you do that. I mean, the Ring of Ruin is nice, but it's your choice. Alright guys, so I'll call it for this one. So I'll see you again. Take care now.